Hey, house guests. Welcome to today's Big Brother Canada 10 updates and spoilers. Hope you're all having a great Friday so far. Our house guests of the day are Brianna Souter, Alice Show, Charlie Cutler, and Lisa. Thank you all so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so, so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, I think we only have one day left. So check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for holla. And I am going to be going through tomorrow and making sure that we get everybody who contributed this season, because I don't want to leave anybody out. We really do appreciate everybody's support. Before we get started, I would also like to thank yesterday's super chatters, because that's another fantastic way to support our channel. So Jefferson Tucker, Mark Dean, Rachel Galbraith, and Nick Petrella, thank you all so much for the super chats yesterday. And I see we've got some more today. Yay! Sheena Can 47, thank you so much. I'm gonna read your message at the end because I want mom to weigh in on that as well. And Samuel Johnson, thank you so much also. Samuel says, thank you for taking my BBCan viewer experience to the next level. Your updates and spoilers make all the difference. I'm so glad you enjoy them. That means a lot to me. Thank you. All right, so let's get started because I know everybody wants to know what's been going on. So last night, after a week, a very long, exhausting week of flip-flopping back and forth, Kevin and Helena finally decided to keep Josh, their initial idea. But they voted out JC Lynn 2-0. And honestly, I'm really curious what JC Lynn's game would have been like without Gino, because I kind of feel like he dragged her down a bit. I think she would have been much more focused if Gino wasn't there. I think she could be like a pretty decent player. Am I Helena in her goodbye message? I don't know. No, I really do think that JC Lynn has a lot of potential. And we saw that this week, right? She almost got Kevin and Helena to flip on Josh. But anyway, now we've got our final four: Betty, Josh, Helena, and Kevin. I love this group. I think it's a great final four. So the feeds stayed down last night after the episode all the way into the wee hours of the morning, and the house guests were all asleep when the feeds came back. When they woke up this morning, they were talking about how they were woken up by a blaring alarm in the middle of the night last night. It was the countdown door. The countdown door reached 0, and it sounds like the house guests were running around to get to that door first. And Helena actually hurt her elbow in the process because she ran into the door and fell. I think Josh also like face planted. They were talking about him having weak ankles. I don't know. But yeah, there were some injuries with this. And guess what? This was all for like some competition sponsored by Wendy's. When the house guests woke up this morning, they like turned the lights on and everything, and we see like these Wendy's cups next to the beds. What happened? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm assuming this was like some sort of a reward challenge or something like that. I don't know what I was expecting, but I guess I thought that the door would have some sort of like game twist or something. I don't know. But anyway, it sounds like they also had like 3 or 4 bottles of champagne last night. I think they must have done the BBCan Awards like after the eviction. Like everybody gets dressed up, they have fun with that, and then in the middle of the night they had the Wendy's thing. But they did not do the HOH competition last night. So at one point this morning, Kevin, Helena, and Josh were in the bathroom, and Kevin's asking, "Ooh, are we going to do some ridiculous crash test dummy stuff today?" So I'm pretty sure he is referring here to how he wants Josh to throw this next HOH competition so Kevin or Helena could win, because they are the only 3 competing. My nose is so itchy right now. Oh my God. And Josh says, we've been doing some ridiculous crash test stuff and we're going to keep doing it. So he's very careful not to outright promise, like, yeah, I'm throwing the HOH competition. But he is leading Kevin and Helena to believe that. So Kevin turns to Helena and says, all right, one of us will be the HOH, specifically me. And then one of us 3 will win the power of veto. And then, we control everything that happens this week. So they agree they have to win the power of veto. So Kevin says, this is our way of making sure that the final four is not boring. We're doing some crazy stuff here with like Josh throwing HOH and then, whatever. Kevin says it's going to be wild. So Kevin also says, Josh, you're doing some sick stuff. You're a legend. Like, this is amazing. And Kevin says he and Helena will be going head to head today in the HOH competition. So he really thinks that Josh is going to throw this comp, huh? What? After letting Josh know that they were going to cut him last week, potentially, that they were going back and forth about it, and you're thinking that Josh is actually going to throw this HOH competition. Are you kidding me right now? I think they've been in that house a little too long. But Kevin says, Josh, you really need to sell it when you throw the competition. And Josh agrees. He says, Betty is smart. We can't let her catch on to this. So Kevin says, yeah, Betty, she needs to go next because if she doesn't, she is going to win. Everybody wants to see an underdog win. And Betty has been turning it up lately with these competitions. So we got to get her out of here. All right. So then the fees went down for the HOH competition for a few hours. I don't know what the competition was exactly, but I do know that Josh won HOH. Ah! I guess he wasn't throwing it, Kevin. So Kevin is alone on the couches upstairs and he says, should have cut him. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Let's focus up. I mean, really, these house guests need to get it together because the POV competition is likely happening tonight, and it usually goes really late into the night. A lot of times it's like an individually timed one, and some of these house guests don't get their turn until like 1 in the morning. So they really need to like stay focused today. This is probably one of the longest days of the entire season for them. So a little later, Josh, Kevin, and Helena are chatting in the red bedroom, and Kevin's like, all right, I still want to go to the final three with you guys, even though I'm very frustrated with you, Josh. So Josh is smiling and he's like, are you that frustrated with me? And Kevin says, I just wish that you had told us that you were going to go for it in this HOH competition. Why would he throw it? Why would he throw it? Number one, like even if he knew that you were loyal and you like never wavered, why would he throw this competition? That would be insane. But the fact that you were ready to possibly vote him out last week, why would he trust you? Why would he not go for his safety? It's just absolutely insane to me. So Josh says basically like in the moment, he just went for it. So Kevin's like, no, I'm glad you went for it, but how can I not be a little skeptical right now? Because, you told us you were going to do one thing and then you did something else. So Josh says, I don't think this changes like the outcome of the week. Like we're still planning on going to the final three together, right? Kevin admits, yeah, it's fine. Like we're still going to do our thing. Okay. So Betty comes in and breaks up that conversation. So a few minutes later, Helena checks in with Josh in the bathroom. And Helena says, Josh, I want you to know I'm so happy for you. It's okay that you went for it. Like, I want you to be happy. You're safe. You made it into the final three. Like, that's amazing. So Josh is like, are you sure you don't feel some type of way about it? And Helena's like, no, I swear I don't. If I wanted you out, I would have voted you out last week, right? Like, I want you to be here. So Helena says, I'm glad that you did what was right for you. Now we're all going to battle it out for that power of veto, right? So then Helena chats with Kevin in the purple bedroom, and Kevin's like, Helena, I'm going to need your help today because I'm having some stupid thoughts. Uh-oh. Kevin says he wants to tell Betty that if he wins the power of veto, he's evicting her because he doesn't think that he can beat her in the end. So he's hoping that by telling her this will make Betty emotional and it will make her mess up during the competition. So I'm just going to put it out there right now. He has not said this to Betty yet. I don't know if he's going to before the POV. I think it's wild. It's extra. I could totally see him doing it, but I don't know. I think he was just kind of like freaking out in the moment. Kevin says he's just so pissed about like Josh going for the HOH. But again, not only were Kevin and Helena going back and forth on this vote last week and Josh found out about it, But Kevin was laughing in Josh's face when Josh was trying to campaign to him and be serious about it. But Kevin was being goofy AF. So that, that resonates with people. I don't think Josh appreciated that. Helena says, we got played. That's all there is to it. Him and Betty, super tight. We got played by Josh. And Kevin agrees. Kevin says, I failed us. I saw this coming. I knew that Josh would win HOH. And Helena's like, it wasn't just you. Like, we made this decision together. And she says, we can't go back. He outsmarted both of us. We made the emotional move. We got too invested here. So then they're talking about how they got to go out and win this POV because, Betty, if she wins, that guarantees that Kevin or Helena will definitely be going. So then Kevin is saying, I'm going to talk to Josh and I'm going to let him know if he puts both of us up on the block, then I'm not going to trust him that he's still committed to the final three with us. Noms don't really matter this week anyway, but I guess it definitely would be a slap in the face to the Crash Test Dummies if Josh were to put both of them up on the block. It's symbolic more than anything. So Kevin says, Josh is definitely lying to us. There's no chance that he just decided on the spot to go for HOH. Duh. But Kevin says, at the same time, Josh is amazing. He pulled this off. And Helena agrees. He really is amazing. Kevin is just mad that Josh was telling them that he was going to throw the competition. You should be mad at yourself that you believe that garbage. What? Oh my God. I can't even believe that Kevin asked him to do that. Wild. So anyway, Kevin and Helena realize, wow, this feeling that we're feeling right now, we've made a lot of people feel this way this season. Now it's our turn. And I gotta say, Helena is definitely taking this a lot better than Kevin is. And that's not to say that Kevin's like losing it, but he definitely was like actually expecting Josh to throw this competition, which is insane. Okay. So after that, Kevin talks to Josh in the bathroom. And Kevin tells Josh, we're all good as long as you don't put me and Helena up on the block together. Because if you do, I'm going to take that as a personal offense. I'm going to be livid about it. So Kevin is like laughing when he's saying this, but just because he's laughing doesn't mean he's not serious. So he tells Josh, look, I'm happy for you. I just wish that you didn't say that you're going to throw it. That's the only thing. So Josh is like, I'm sorry that I blew that expectation for you. Sorry. Kevin's asking Josh, would you still evict Betty this week? And of course, Josh cannot actually be the one to evict anyone this week as the HOH. However, he could still win the power veto and give it to whoever he wants to vote this week. So in a way, he would be deciding, if it's going to be Betty, Kevin, or Helena going. You know what I mean? So he would have a hand in that, but it's not like he's directly evicting someone. So Josh confirms, yes, he would still want Betty to leave this week. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Josh has turned on Kevin and Helena at this point, but he's still playing it cool. So Josh says at the end of the day, it's a game. We're still going to be friends after this. So Betty's got to go. They talk about jury votes. Kevin is still sticking with his story that he would lose against anyone in the final two. I don't think he actually believes that. Maybe he does. I don't know. But he's also just trying to get people to want to take him to the final two. Josh is playing along that he still wants to go to the end with Kevin. And Josh is also saying, like, I feel like I would lose to anyone in the final two. So everybody loves to say that, right? So later, Josh gets his HOH room. He's in there with Betty. And Josh is like, I'm going to be fighting for this POV because I want you to be in the final three with me. And Betty's like, yeah, I'm going to be fighting for it too, for sure. So Josh asks, who should I pick for Wendy's? They agree it makes sense to pick Helena because she's only had it once so far. So it's the right thing to do. Excuse me. They talk about how Helena and Kevin were flip-flopping last week and, they came close to voting Josh out. So Josh is asking Betty, now that I won this HOH, are you going to cut me next week? or like next round, is this going to make me a bigger target for you? And Betty says, no way. She wants to go to the end with him, but she does give him a heads up that she has been telling Helena and Kevin that she would cut him. I do truly believe, though, that Betty would like to go to the end with Josh. So nominations should be happening at some point today. Again, they don't really matter. It all comes down to the power of veto this week. But it sounds like Josh is possibly going to put Kevin and Betty up on the block. This is a plan that he came up with Betty, because they feel like maybe if Helena stays off the block, that means that her no nomination streak is going to continue. She went the whole season without being nominated. And they're hoping that if Kevin wins the power of veto, he would take that into consideration and be like, whoa, Helena could be a huge threat with the jury. Maybe I should cut her and keep Betty. So there is some strategy going into this, and I think that's very interesting. I think it's a good idea, right? I mean, these nominations don't mean that much, but I think that is a good way to do it. I don't know that Kevin would actually evict Helena. I feel like no, but yeah, I feel like definitely not. But it's still an interesting thought. So that's the plan as of now. We'll see if it changes. The power veto competition should also be tonight, and I am expecting that to probably be a late one. It usually is. And then if things go the way that they usually do, tomorrow is probably going to be the last day of feeds. I think feeds will probably go down like early tomorrow afternoon. Come on in. Because they have lots of stuff that they don't want to get spoiled before the finale. And they have a lot of extra stuff that they film.
I wrote a lot of CJ.
Okay. A lot of extra stuff that they film to make the finale look as awesome as it always does. So, do I have...
Yeah.
What, dry skin?
Yeah.
My skin is disgusting right now. But anyway, I want to thank our super chatters. You're all amazing. So let me go back. Okay. Sheena Can 47. Thank you so much for the super chat. And Sheena says, hey, Maddie and Janet, who from this season of BBCan 10 could you see in an all-star season? Keep up the awesome work. Thank you.
Well, Bowie said Kevin.
I could definitely see Kevin coming back. I see like a lot of the bros coming back, like Herman, Moose.
They're pretty entertaining.
Yeah. What ladies do you see coming back? I think Betty would be asked back. Betty coming back.
Definitely not
Summer. I see Summer coming back.
Yeah, I could see Summer.
Yeah. I don't know. Be interesting.
What do you guys say?
Yeah, let us know your picks in the comments. Let's see. Samuel, I almost called you Samuel L. Johnson. Samuel Johnson, thank you so much for the super chat. That's not even the real name.
I know.
It's similar though. Similar vibe. Thank you so much again. Travell K, thank you so much for the super chat. And Travell says, oh, hello, and soon goodbye to BBCan 10, right?
Oh,
it's almost done. It's wild. Really appreciate your dedication with these updates. Thank you so much.
I am just in awe of you and your reporting.
I have to say, it really did help this season to take Sundays off, and I'm really appreciative that everybody was cool about that. If I hadn't taken Sundays off, like I normally would just go straight through, I would be in really bad shape right now mentally. So it really helped make my life easier, and helped me stay sane. So thank you everybody for being cool with that. Definitely something I want to continue in the future.
Right.
Darby C, thank you so much for the super chat. And Darby says, thanks for the great job this season. You rock. This season was really good. I think I'm rooting for Helena because I think Kevin's days are numbered. Thank you so much for watching. I was just looking over some of the interviews that JC Lynn was doing. And it seems like she was saying the jury house is really pro Kevin. So if he can make it to the final two, I think he would have a really good shot. But like you said, I don't know if he's even going to make it now because...
How the hell would she know? What has she been there? 2 seconds?
I think she got to talk to them real quick before she started doing her interviews.
All right.
I don't know. That's what I was seeing on online. I don't know if Helena is going to get that same support. Seems like no. Definitely not from JC Lynn.
No.
Yeah. I don't think Helena's going to get the same
shut
credit.
up.
Christine, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, I can't with Kevin being upset about Josh lying. I know, right? Oh my God. Give me a break.
I have to interject here.
Okay.
That I have been rooting for Kevin.
Yeah.
To win, and now the needle is going more towards Betty.
Okay.
Because I just don't like Kevin's public attitude towards the end.
Yeah.
I think it's unnecessary.
I feel like Kevin kind of lost sight of things a little bit the past few days. I mean, that one conversation with Josh that I think back to.
He's so cocky.
He really was extra. Did not need to be laughing in Josh's face like that, and I think that could have been a big mistake for him in this game.
I think so.
So it's really interesting how like one little thing. I mean, there's more than one little thing.
Well, yeah.
But Betty also worked hard to get Josh to realize that Kevin has been playing him.
Betty wasn't the smartest player, but Betty never gave up.
Betty is also entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. We will be back tomorrow for, I think, the last spoiler of the season.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if you check back later, I will post information, competition results, whatever, as it comes in, with like nominations and POV. Again, I don't know.
As soon as she finds out, you'll find out.
Yeah, if I'm awake. I just feel like POV is going to end like super late.
You can't find out if you're not awake.
Right? All right. So anyway, we will see you all tomorrow. So have a great Friday night. And until next time, much love. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Howdy in reverse.